Today, Friday, the 13th of September 2024, we have some hand-picked match predictions to share with you, which will be backed up by some stats and analytics to help you make your picks in this list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And to those of you who want to have access to our top 10 match prediction based on over 1.5 and 2.5 goals, corner kicks, match prediction picks based on our top list, and also straight win event, then you want to make sure that you subscribe to become a member of the level 2 package plan and start to have access to all of these features to take your winning to the next level. The link is below this video. You can easily click on it and join and start to have access to all of these features and start accessing all the hand picks we share to members only based on our top 10 list, top 15 list as well. So without wasting time, I'm going to begin with the first event of our today's list. Looking at the first event here, we want to look at China in the Super League, a match between Shanghai against Shenzhen Zipenchen. In this event, first, I want to share with you the recent performance of Shanghai based on games they have had recently. You're going to see that they have registered a very great rating based on offense. The opponent, on the other hand, you can see that they concede much based on recent event they have had. Now, of course, I'll share with you the performance or home performance of Shanghai based on recent event they have had. You're going to see that they have mostly had games in the Super League itself as well as in the FA Cup itself. Now, of course, the performance per every event have proved that the score between 3 to 7 and 8 goals per each event, especially when they come at home. This prove how offensive they are. And looking at that of the opponent, on the other hand, they do concede as much based on the away performance. And now, looking at the stands based on these two, I will share with you the form based on the performance of these two. Looking at that of Shanghai, they sit on the first position, the best on this table. Having played 5 events, they have had 4 wins based at home game played, and of course, 22 goals scored and 6 goals conceded. That of the opponent based on the home table, they sit on the 13th position, and for 5 events had 2 wins, 4 goals scored, and 9 goals conceded. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 to 3 major picks in this event in full time. For this particular event, the home team Shanghai have proved to be a very offensive team. And based on recent events they have had, they have proved to score between 4, 5, 6, and even 8 goals based on home event they have had. And also looking at that of its opponent, they have proved to concede more. And the stand table have proved that Shanghai, which is based on form, is very offensive with an average goal score rate which is very high. Before we come to the pick, I want to look at the last head-to-head these two teams met, where Shanghai played away and its opponent at home. It beats its opponent 6 goals to 0. This time, of course, it is coming home, and Shanghai being at home want to take that home advantage. The fact that the last head-to-head event this same year resulted to 6 to 0 goals, the offense of Shanghai based on that event was very high, and there were a lot of shoot on target and resulting to 6 goals. This time it is coming home. We still want to look at Shanghai to lead and the possibility of 1.5, 2.5 goals in full time. Looking at the next, we are looking at Finland in the Veikkausliiga, a match between Inter Turku against Kaunas. For this event, the performance of the home team based on recent event have proved that they are good, and the score between 1 to 2 goals and even 3 goals per every event. That of its opponent, on the other hand, have proved to be very conceding based on recent gameplay. Now, I will share with you the performance of Inter Turku at home. Its home performance is very great, and the score between 2 to 3 goals per each event with a good rating, as you can see here. That of its opponent, on the other hand, as you can see, based on away, you're going to see that they concede a lot, between 4, 2, and 5 goals per each event. Based on stands, you're going to see that the standing here, based on form, will prove that the home team, being Inter Turku, sits on the 8th position, and its form is better as compared to that of the opponent. Having played 5 events, they have had 3 wins, 8 goals scored, and 3 conceded. But that of its opponent have proved that they concede more. For 5 games, they concede 15 goals. That's an average goal conceded goals of up to 3. And Inter Turku coming at home want to look at 2 major picks in full time. Looking at the performance of the home team based on recent events they have had, they have proved to have a better offense as compared to that of its opponent. The form table also have proved that, of course, the opponent of Inter Turku concede more. And out of 5 events played, they have shown that they have an average conceded goal rate of up to 3. This is going to make Inter Turku to take that advantage of the weak defense of its opponent. Now, looking at the past head-to-head events which Inter Turku play at away this same year, it lead by 7 goals to 0. This time it is coming home. and having a better form as compared to that of its opponent, which to maintain a weak defense, want to look at Inteteku to take that chance to score more goals here. As a result, want to look at goals possibility, 1.5 goal in full time, or at least 2.5 goals in full time. Looking at the next, we are looking at Finland in the Jokosliga, a match between KTP against Japs. The performance of KTP have proved to be good based on recent events they have had, and the score between 1 to 3 goals per each event. Its opponent, on the other hand, have proved that, of course, even though they do score, but they do concede as well a lot. The performance of KTP at home have proved that they are very good, especially when they come at home based on recent events being played. 3, 2, and 6. That of its opponent, on the other hand, have proved to concede more, especially when they go at away. The stand, of course, here will tell you that the form table based on stand, KTP sits on a better position. And being on the first here, they have had 5 events, 3 wins, 14 goals scored, and 9 conceded. But that of its opponent, on the other hand, have had 5 games played, just 6 goals scored, and up to 9 goals conceded, and they sit on the 9th position. And everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. Based on the performance of this home team, they have shown to be a better offensive team as compared to that of the opponent. And the result, since they are better here and sit on the first position, having an average goal score rate which is above 2, then of course it is going to take that advantage of the weak defense of its opponent. Also, looking at the last head-to-head event which these two teams met, of course, KTP actually played at away. This time it had a 0-0 draw against the opponent, and the opponent played its highest defense. And still looking at that last head-to-head which these two teams met, for which KTP played at away, it has a total shoot of 18. That is 10 shots off target and 8 shots on target. But that of its opponent had a total of just 3 shots off target and 1 on target. This time KTP is coming home, and of course we want to look at KTP to take that home advantage. And the fact that it has high striking power, especially its shoot on target, which in the last event was 8 shoot on target, this time it is coming home and taking home advantage. We want to look at KTP to lead, as well as the possibility of at least 1.5 going full time, since its offense in this game played have proved to be better in terms of goal score rate. So we look at 2 major picks here, 1.5 in full time as a goal, and also the possibility of KTP to lead, since it is coming home this time and might want to take that home chance. Looking at the next, we are looking at Norway in the Elite Siren, match between Bodo against HamKam. For this event, you're going to see that the performance of Bodo based on recent events have proved to be very good. Looking at that of its opponent, on the other hand, has also proved to be average based on recent game played. Now, of course, looking at the home performance of Bodo based on recent events they have had, they are very, very offensive based on home game. And they have had games with strong team, especially in the Champions League against Zvezda and also against Jagiellonia. Looking at that of its opponent, on the other hand, based on the way game played, you're going to see that they have mostly had events in the Elite Siren itself based on recent events they have had. And of course, now looking at the stands and comparison of these two based on form, I will share with you the form table. Bodo, of course, sits on the better place in the second position, having played 5 events, 3 wins record, 13 goals scored, and 4 conceded. But that of its opponent, on the other hand, have had 5 events, 6 goals scored, and 7 goals conceded, and sit on the 7th position. Everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. The performance of Bodo based on recent events they have had, have proved to be better as compared to that of its opponent. Also, based on the recent form of these two, Bodo actually showed a better performance and having an average goal scorer which is above 2. That of its opponent, on the other hand, have a defense which is not as strong as that of Bodo. And as a result, Bodo want to take that advantage of the weak defense of its opponent. As a result, now looking at the last head-to-head which the two teams met this same year, Bodo actually played at away and its opponent lead by 1-0, for which this time Bodo is coming home and having a better offense, which is coming home. Have mostly had games in the Champions League, performing better as compared to that of its opponent. We want to look at Bodo to come with a great form, especially for this particular event, to lead in full time, as well as the possibility of at least 2 goals in this event in full time. So we want to look at Bodo to lead. We also look at least 1.5 goal in full time. Next, we want to look at Portugal in the Premier League, or Liga de Portugal, match between Oruca against Sporting. For this event, the performance of the home team have proved that they are very poor and they concede much. But comparing to that of Sporting, based on recent events they have had, they have played with very strong teams like Porto and Ferenc. You can see they always lead, and the performance of goal scoring rate or offensive power have been between 2, 3, and 5 goals per each event. Looking at the home performance of Uruka, they are still not that good, but that of Sporting, on the other hand, have proved that they are very, very offensive. Looking now at the stand table based on the comparison of these two based on form, Sporting sits on the better position, and having been or placed in the first position of the table, they have had 4 games recently and having 4 of the wins, 16 goals scored, which is an average goal score rate of 4, and very defensive on the other hand. Looking at its opponent on the other hand, they have had 4 events, just 2 goals scored, but 5 goals conceded. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For these particular events, Sporting, which is the away team, have proved to have a very high offensive power. And with an average goal score rate of at least 4 goals per each event, we want to look at Sporting to use it as an advantage against the weak defense of its opponent, Uruka. Also, looking at the last head-to-head in which these two teams met, Sporting still play away and it lead by 3 goals to 0. This time, Sporting is still coming with a very high offensive power, and having that probability to win with high offense is going to take that advantage of the weak defense of its opponent, and therefore want to look at Sporting to lead in full time, as well as the possibility of at least 1.5 goal in full time or 2 goals over. Looking at the next, we are looking at Quarter Star League, a match between Alat against Salal. For this event, the performance of the home team have proved that they are good based on recent events. They have had 5 goals per each event. That of its opponent, on the other hand, is not as good as that of the home team, and they do concede much. Looking at the performance of the home team based on home games, you're going to see that most of the events they have had based on home have not resulted to any loss, and its opponent, on the other hand, concede more. Now looking at the stands, this is just the 4th round of this tournament, and looking at the form comparison of these two, Alat, which is the home team, sits on the 3rd position. Having played 3 games, they have had up to 11 goals scored and 3 conceded. But that of its opponent, on the other hand, out of 3 events, they have had just 1 win, 4 goals scored and 6 conceded. And everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. The performance of Alat for these particular events tournament have proved to be very good. Its performance based on home game played have shown that they score between 3 to 5 goals per each event. This offense is very strong, and it is going to take advantage of the weak defense of its opponent. Since its opponent, on the other hand, is not good and the defense is also not good, and of course, since the defense is also not good, the home team want to take that home chance of that weak defense. So want to look at the home team to lead in full time, as well as the possibility of at least 1.5 goals in full time or 2 goals over for this particular event. And to those of you who want to have access to our top list, top 10 events or top 14 events based on 1.5 and 2.5 goals, as well as straight wins and corner kick events, which we share to members only, then of course you want to make sure to subscribe to become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan to have access to all our hand-picked match prediction events to take your winning to the next level. For you to join, the link is below this video description. Just click on it directly, join to become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan, and start to have access to all our picks and have benefit of all of these features we have mentioned. Good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye-bye for now.